Yeah, this one's a lot of fun because it has an actual gun with a working scope on it.
When I see avatars in VRChat, I often stop to think about how much time and effort went into creating them. I asked avatar creators about what initially inspired them, what part of the process excites and challenges them, and what advice they'd give to those who are interested in creating their own. How did you first get started creating avatars?
Well, I've always been like into customization in games. It's a big thing for me. Like, any game I like customizing my character, customizing cars if I can, customizing pretty much everything. So when I knew that I could pretty much make my character in the game and pretty much do whatever I want, I did it as soon as I started playing the game. Like a couple of days later, I was already working Unity and trying to import some models. Someone can just take some parts here and there and kind of put them together like Legos or Bionicles or something, and some person can model stuff from scratch. Like these straps here are made from scratch, but I only made scratch parts like a lot later in my like modeling hobby.
My experience with model making started with MMD, so before VRChat was even a thing. I did stuff in like MMD, Vroid models and such as that, and then actually my model making career in VRChat started out as a hobby. I just It just came naturally because I had experience with MMD models already, so just transporting it into Blender and then uploading it through Unity. MMD is a Miku Miku dance, and most of them are made by TDA, which is like a company that is like a corporate company that makes all the models, and they're in charge of the modeling, such as like Miku, like Hatsune Miku and her Vocaloid model is made by TDA. And the MMD is a video game where you can make dances and stuff, and you can record like music, and then you can have the avatar dance to the music.
Might actually be better to do it the other way around because of the lighting of the sun. Yeah, I guess it's kind of in a way, a show of creativity, and at the same time, it's, I guess, in a way, standing out. So I guess it's kind of a way that people see my avatar and instantly know who I am. Like, hey, it's that person. They don't have to see my name tag; they just see my avatar and they know it's me. But yeah, there's a lot of creativity. In VRChat, you have like people making really cool worlds and stuff like that with like cool effects and like the treehouse in the shade with all the shaders and stuff like that. And I guess I am kind of just a walking version of that to a degree, where I am like a spectacle to see for people, where they don't have to go to a world. I kind of go to them instead, I guess, in a way. I don't really see myself like that, but I guess that's kind of the case. Never really thought about that, but so sometimes I'm in like a world and somebody just makes a comment like, "Hey, there's like flowers on this skirt" and stuff like that. So it still works for some people, but yeah, I guess for me, I guess to put it simple, it's like indeed a creativity way. I guess like just look at me, I'm creative and I'm weird and I'm unique. Come talk to me because I don't dare talk to you.
Okay, so that goes back a really long time for me because from an early age, I've been just obsessed with 3D modeling. As far as like when I actually got into making avatars in VRChat, it was pretty much right off the bat. Well, I already had a large background in 3D modeling, several decades worth of professional 3D modeling experience. For me, it was kind of like a very smooth and natural transition to come into this space. It's just the ability to be whoever you want to be. You can create your own body. How amazing is that?
Let's see. Started making avatars about in February. The reason why I started making avatars is because you can go to public worlds all the time, but finding one that's unique, it takes a while. And when you have something in your head that you're already, you want, why don't you make it?
What part or parts of the process do you enjoy the most?
I mean, of course, making it's always fun. I like, texturing, weight painting, just messing around with the model and like seeing the work progression. Modeling is a very good way to like see progress in something. Like it starts out as nothing, and then you can very clearly see it get more and more polished as you go on. But for me, the most rewarding part would be, especially when I do commissions or I make other people avatars, seeing them get excited or giving gratitude for something that I created is definitely like more than enough payment than the effort.
I love working with polygons. Low polygon count modeling there's something special about it. The most enjoyable part is once the model is kind of taken shape and it's set up, and then you're kind of like making it really nice. Like you're kind of like taking all those little errors and fixing them all and kind of buttoning everything up. Other than that, there's a huge thing that I love to do is I love making thick avatars. So you know, taking an existing avatar and making it thicker is like, that is another favorite step that I have.
I like taking my model into Unity and texturing it and the effects, going to Photoshop, making some new textures. And the model really like comes together and it really comes to life when you do that. Because I do a lot of textures in Photoshop and I've been always drawing, so it's a lot of fun to like color in my character and make it look nice.
Do I enjoy the most? It's the finished product. It's the entire process between getting the ideas and then actually putting it on paper, getting it, you know, some kind of scratch form that you want is the most difficult. That's horrible half the time because you don't know what you want to do, and then getting it together, you're like, how do I even do this? That's the reason why the end product is always the best part, because you get to show it off to your friends and see if they like it.
During the interview, Spicy had agreed to create a custom avatar for me, and I provided him the details of what I'd like for it.
I like the hair.
Sure.
The eyes I want to have like green, and I think instead of a Philly, like whatever this is, and not so much these, is like a hoodie. Like, you know, little wolf tail, that's cool too. Very simple. It would just be like a few modifications to basically this. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how long that would take or whatever, but...
Yeah, just simple touches, really. It shouldn't take me very long at all. Yeah, and then if there's anything else, like after it's completed, we can just always add something. It's no problem.
This is like what Ash did after he won all the tournaments and the badges and stuff, and he, you know, saved everything. This is like 10 years later.
Right.
And he's like, you know, I mean, I have all these Pokemon, but what else is there to do? You know, and he's like washed up and stuff. And like that's who I feel like I am. He went on a bender where he just only listens to synthwave music. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. This is kind of nice.
I think the llama likes your jacket.
When creating avatars, what have been your biggest challenges?
Learning Unity is just kind of like, you know, you're like staring at a mountain and you're like, how do I learn how to do this? Once you like start climbing up, you're like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then, you know, you start to get a footing. And I don't feel like I'm quite at the like top of the mountain yet.
I'm a programmer, not an artist, but I have like a sense of like things that look good and what could be better. Because like, for example, the past 2 days or something like that, I spent like a whole bunch of time in Blender changing this avatar, and I'm pretty sure you don't even see what's different. But like, I updated a bunch of things where some stuff that used to be just like a 2D plane now has like more 3D effects, and some things that weren't there before are now fixed because they were only one-sided and stuff like that. So the squid, for example, every single time I looked down, the wavy things were very spiky, which bothered me, so I made them way more smooth and stuff like that. And other people won't even notice that, the difference, but I see that, and I find it important to fix that.
I don't bump to a lot of stuff anymore because I've pretty much mastered most of it. But since I just got full body, I don't really know how to proportion the limbs and stuff. So I struggled there. And the less fun part too is doing all the fancy systems, like let's say this touch system. It's kind of annoying to deal with.
The biggest challenge so far for me was getting help. That was probably the worst part to it. When I first started making avatars, I didn't have a whole lot of people I could go to figure out how to do certain things. So I had to get, it was all trial and error. The entire time I had to just go through it and through it and through it. And hopefully I'd find some kind of way to get my dream onto paper, or into Blender, into Unity, trying to get things to go on together. There is videos out there to help you out, but on certain specific cases, there isn't any really good information. And my only solution I really had was to ask around.
What advice would you give for someone who's interested in creating their own avatars?
Start small. Don't expect it to be good. It is going to be garbage. Your first model is absolute garbage. My first model was, everyone's first model was absolute trash. Don't expect it to get like good overnight. You're not going to be able to immediately start head swapping models or doing crazy particle effects. Don't be afraid to ask people for help, especially other avatar creators. A lot of avatar creators are very nice people, and they're more than happy to help out people. Me specifically, you can commission me, and I will make an avatar for you for money, but I am 100% available to teach anyone for free. I will always teach people for free.
Start simple. Don't worry about making a great avatar. Just first of all, start learning how to use Blender, how to, in my case, export avatars from like Gmod or whatever, or other games. Eventually, you will learn. I spent hundreds of hours on this avatar, probably like close to 300, 400 hours or something over all the years. So start simple.
They should first learn how to do a bit of 3D modeling. There's a website called VRCmods.com that has a lot of content that's just available for download. And if you just want to jump right in, that might be the way to go.
Just take your time, go slow about it. It's going to be very, very frustrating. Be patient. That's the easiest way. Just be very patient, because nothing's going to work on the first try. I have gone through, when making avatars, I've had to make 3 or 4 in the same Unity, or throw it back in Blender. You might have some clipping issues, or something, your inventory system may not work, or you forgot to texture something. You just got to be very patient, because at the very end of it, once you get completely done, that's the final project is what you're really hoping for.
Well, if they want to do it, then just do it. They should not get in it for like the money or the fame or whatever. Just make avatars and have fun. Look at tutorials and stuff, and look at the Discords too. There's a bunch of different Discords you can ask for help. That's how I learned with tutorials, Discord, and on my own.
After the interviews, I was given the opportunity to see a few custom avatars that were made.
This was more to appeal to the male audience, because I knew the dancers like male models who have a lot of muscles and stuff. I can wear a hoodie. I can wear a leather jacket. This is the first models I made. The one that have this gray background with the kind of handwritten letters. I had a bunch of my friends' models. You can see their names over the wall here. So I think it's thanks to them too that this world did so well, especially like Chris, Snow, and Nelly, which are the first ones that weren't there with me.
Yeah, the pants I made myself from scratch. The shoes and the shirt I did not make. This one has other things, like I can, obviously since I'm a dancer, take it off, and then I can put something else on. Obviously, if you're going to be like cuddling or hanging out with friends after a dance, it's kind of weird if you're in a tank top or shirtless, so. Have
you ever seen the video for, Peter Robinson's Shelter? Like the animated video? It has like a cool effect in it that I just saw and was like, oh, I totally need to try that. So I did, and it ended up with this. Yeah, it's just like over time, so every now and then, like once again, it's like not that, like it does stuff, but it does for like a split moment, I guess, and then it goes back. So it's like not all too intrusive. This is essentially just a fractal as my clothing.
So I did the teddy bear one, and I was just like, well, let's do something cute, wholesome, and cuddly, and just see if anybody likes it. And it, turns out, a lot of people like it. It's really awesome. You could just go back and forth, just being cute and cuddly, and still being cute and cuddly in the avatar. Yeah, real cozy. Besides the 24-inch shoes that are sitting in front of the bed. I mean, they're like absolutely huge.
While it may take some time to get into it, avatar creation in VRChat can be a lot of fun. Even the simplest models can be made with little to no experience. One can create and become everyday objects, fantastic beings, or even just a better version of themselves in a shared dream.
Is me.
Yeah, back to you. Just, ow.